Okay, so follow me here. They decide to go on a short vacation, and it led to an unexpected journey. It all started when Matt Robertson suggested to Connie Lay that they take a potential romantic getaway to Costa Rica on their third date. Right, you're already saying, wow. Well, she thought, Connie said, oh, what's the worst that could happen? Well, we find out in their new documentary called Longest Third Date, what happened with Matt and Connie. Take a look.
And then it went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Third date, Costa Rica. Look at this. You only live once. What's the worst that could happen? It's at the early stages of the coronavirus.
At the hotel, they were like, we're shutting down, you have to leave.
Why the flight's canceled. Guess we're stuck here.
Yes, and they weren't just stuck. They were stuck for months in the longest third date ever. Please welcome to the show, Matt and Connie. Come on out. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. How are you? How are you? How are you?
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. So this is, okay, let's just start. I'll start with you, Connie.
Okay.
Because I know if I called my parents and said I was going to go to Costa Rica with a man on my third date, they might have some opinions.
Yeah, that's why I was so scared to tell them.
Oh, wait, you were afraid to tell your family that you were going on a third date with this guy. Okay, let's start at the first date. Were you guys dating by then? What would you call it?
We were, hanging out, We were talking. First date, we actually didn't go on our first date until maybe a couple months after the first message on the dating app, and it went really well. It lasted longer than any other date we've been on.
6
Not longer than the third one.
That's fair.
So it was a great first date, right? So you're enjoying each other. You met on an app. Second date was what?
Second date, axe throwing, yeah.
Axe throwing?
Yeah.
Like an axe?
Yeah, yes. At the wall, you try to hit a target.
You know how to win them, Matt, right?
Yeah.
So I can tell now you were trying to think out of the box to impress Connie.
Something adventurous. I figured if we're doing an activity, then I don't have to talk too much, and then the pressure's off.
That's actually very smart.
Yeah,
That's very smart.
Yeah.
So you're axe throwing on second date.
Yep.
Then whose idea was it to go to Costa Rica? I've always wanted to go to Costa Rica, so I get, but whose idea was it?
I think it started as a joke, right?
Yeah. I was like, oh, tickets to Hawaii are really cheap right now. And then he threw out Costa Rica, and we kind of just kept going back and forth, one-upping each other. And we'll see you at the airport. All right, packing my bags now.
I couldn't tell, and then so I had to figure it out. I was like, well, send me your passport. This will determine if she's for real or not.
Okay.
And she sent it.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, this is happening. But even going to the airport, I was expecting that she's not going to be there, right? It's still kind of crazy.
Right.
Third date.
So you this is amazing. So you get to the airport. Had you told anyone in your family that you were going to Costa Rica with basically a stranger?
I told my mom on the car ride there. So it was when I was already my bags are already packed. I'm heading to the airport.
He's got your passport. So what are you gonna do?
Right.
All right. So Matt, you brought first class seats. The flight was empty. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Fam is like first class seats.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't know where this is going. I don't know if you want to applaud these seats.
I got a good deal.
You use some miles. Okay,
Yeah.
so you got first class seats. You get on the plane. It's empty. And you thought that was an omen of some sort.
It was a little eerie, and it was like, okay, is this a mistake? But even the pilot was kind of cracking jokes, though. He was like, we got plenty of toilet paper. It was still early on. And I called the embassy, actually, and the hotel, because it was starting to get weird, but it wasn't what would it become.
So you had started to hear that there was some concern about this flu-like virus, but this was in the early stages of it.
Yeah, we never could have imagined what it would become, of course. It's only a few days.
Right,
it's
just a few days. I was in Florida. I remember hearing, and I sent my husband, I said, oh, get some hand sanitizer. They're saying something, but we didn't know. So you're at the early stage of everything.
Yep.
So, Connie, you land in Costa Rica. You're feeling good about it. And Matt, you notice, likes to record everything.
Yeah, I thought it was, when you're going on vacation, everyone likes to take pictures and stuff like that, just thinking, oh, it's gonna be like a quick Instagram story,
So you're in Costa Rica on your third day with a man who keeps recording you. What could go wrong there? Let's take a look at some of Matt's spy cam. Take a look.
What are you doing?
Vámonos.
What are you making?
Of course, we're gonna hang out, but like I'm gonna get some cool content because I'm in Costa Rica. I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity, throw it up on YouTube, get those followers.
So Matt is making drinks at the bar, having a good time. He's recording everything. So what did you plan on doing with that video?
So usually I would document my travels, but it would just go up on my YouTube, little travel vlog. I never thought, more people like this would see it. And originally, I wasn't thinking I was gonna include her in the footage, but it would be weird to be like, you have to get out of it.
Right.
Because we weren't dating yet, so. But after a while, I was like, okay, the world is literally ending. I guess she can be making an appearance.
Okay, you guys are great. Okay, so March 17th is when you got there. The day before you were supposed to return home, your flight was canceled. So now things get real.
Yeah.
And you're there with, I can see you're still like, your breathing even changed because now it's hard to relive it. So now they tell you gotta stay for at least 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And the hotel's shut, which was like, okay, where are we gonna stay? So we got kicked out of the hotel. We had to find a place to stay and then quarantine. You could only go out on the street 1 day of the week based on your license plate number. And we were just trying to navigate, okay, we're kind of gonna play house for a little bit. Yeah.
My mouth is to the floor. So you get kicked out of the hotel. Now you're, quote, playing house.
Yeah.
And are you feeling each other at this point? Or are you just so in crisis? You're like, I don't care who this person, are you still flirting?
Still flirting.
Oh, you are,
yeah.
Matt.
I was still flirting. I was making lots of cocktails to get through it.
Yeah. But nothing was going on. You're just still getting to know each other.
Yeah.
So then 30-day mark comes. You're there not 3 weeks, but 30 days. At this point, Khani, have you told your parents?
I told my dad that, I'm in Costa Rica, but I didn't tell him who I was with.
With a group of friends from work.
So up until 30 days in Costa Rica, you're still holding on to that fib with your dad. All right, so then we get to June, and they're telling you things won't happen. So from March until June, you are there together.
Yep.
How do you describe the emotional roller coaster? Because again, you're really strangers.
It definitely was a roller coaster. It kept going up and down, but I don't know, we just tried to, we couldn't change anything, so it was like, all right, we just gotta figure out and go with the flow and see what happens.
Were you still recording everything?
I was still recording, and eventually
Was that getting on your nerves by then?
After a while, I didn't even notice it anymore. The phone was permanently affixed to his hand.
She started grabbing the phone from me because at that point, what else could we do? We'd drink and make, movies and vlogs and just go out and try to.
In separate rooms? Were you staying in separate rooms?
At that point, no.
Oh.
Actually, at no point were we in separate rooms. But we got closer as time went on,
I would say.
Yeah.
Because I always see in the horror movies where there's something scary happening and then the people stop to make out and I'm like, you're in crisis. Who's thinking about dating?
Right.
You're in crisis,
yeah.
But there was still something there.
Yeah, we just try to make the most out of, the situation we were in and just trying to have a positive outlook and keeping our heads up.